Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Figuring Out Friday with the crew. Um, Today uh, we're gonna steer away from the challenge and um, more physical, like health tips and things regarding diet, and we're kind of gonna just talk about positivity today. Positivity is going to be our main topic today. We have some quotes piled up to discuss. And I think positivity is a thing a lot of people promote, but sometimes it's seen as cliche or it seems like it's being overdone. But I really want to show you guys what's the importance of positivity and why you should be positive in everything that you want to do and want to happen in your life, especially having being positive when it comes to combating negative thoughts and reframing things so you are able to put your best foot forward and have the best energy going into something. And I think it's super important that you put in positive energy into the things that you do, because whether you realize it or not, the energy that you give the work and the things that you do every day are super important. And this is pretty much what we're gonna be talking about today. And yeah, just want to spread positivity and love. And before we get into this like free flow conversation, I just want to remind you guys to please like and subscribe to the Rumble channel here, and also please check out and like and subscribe to and follow to our other social media platforms, which include here Rumble, like I just said, YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. So please check those out. Let us be seen to more people. And if anyone you know is interested in this type of content, please let them know, because we can only, as more people view us, we can just keep constantly giving you guys the best content that we can provide. And I thank you guys all for watching us and sticking with us through this whole channel. And yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it. You know what? I'll pick on Alex first. I know Alex had a couple good quotes lined up for us.
I've always been a big believer is whatever you put out there is what you receive, that input output type treatment. And I think my quote leading through, and I'm not sure who I heard this from, but it might have been actually from Instagram, but I'm not going to give the credibility to anyone yet until they come forth. But I think the quote goes, motivation is a medicine for creating change in a person's physical, emotional, and mental state. And I think there's a lot to unpack from that one, because just the quote alone, it speaks to those holistic benefits of just general movement. And it's not just about like burning fat or building muscle. It's about healing, right? While we're here. And physically, it improves the strength and our cardiovascular health. But emotionally, it helps regulate, mood. And then in addition to all that, mentally, it reduces stress and improves further clarity. And in this sense of working out, it becomes more like a therapy, like a natural, powerful medicine that you can give yourself on a daily basis. And I feel like this perspective only helps me understand more that this journey, as I've said so many times before, it's about the journey, not the destination. That this journey does not feel like a chore, but more of a as a privilege.
And can you repeat that quote one more time, just so everyone hears it and lets it sink in?
Yeah, movement is a medicine for creating change in a person's physical, emotional, and mental states.
Yeah. Um, I
What
think I
are
agree. Go
oh
ahead.
what are ways that you can utilize movement, like you said, to like create change?
And like you're talking about like in the physical and mental and emotional
Yeah, yeah,
state. Well, like kind of like I just unpacked, physically, there's the gym, there's daily activities that you can go under, as simple as walking. It could be as simple as, you go outside, you have to take a call, you go and walk around your neighborhood while you're taking that call. Those steps only benefit you in that way. Emotionally, there's so many ways it could help you. I think a physical image of yourself is what motivates me. I can speak from personal experience. I know for a lot of other people that physical experience with themselves helps their emotional stability. And mentally, I think if you're in the right headspace, and there's things that can catalyze that, including like yoga and, meditation, I know is really key. Those help reduce that stress and improves that mental clarity that so many of us seek in today's day and age.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Movement, and I think movement is like the way they're putting movement is not just physical, like you said, but it also applies to all these other things. Movement in your position in life, movement in where you are, just making sure that you're constantly moving in the right direction, and the right direction is the positive direction.
And I just want to say, in case like people don't know like exactly what positivity is, like it's not like pushing down your emotions when things get tough, or like smiling, like putting on a fake image for yourself. Like I think it's like carrying yourself through these difficult times and still finding ways to motivate yourself to stay positive. Like I've been through this before. Like this is not something that will bring me down, and I won't like use that the toughness of the situation to make me like bitter throughout the day. And being bitter throughout the day, you can like even spread like negative emotions to others. And I think you should make sure you just self-talk is actually like, I think it's like a really good thing. So you could like do self-talk to like maybe de-stress the situation. And make sure like also make sure like you're surrounded by people that keep positive energy, like if you surround yourself by people that like push down their emotions and stay negative, you might carry that energy too, like. And if you stay positive, like I think people around you will start to understand what it means.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely agree with that. I think it's that also like circles to like you should be using exercising as a celebration rather than a punishment. I know some people
Like
view
a
it.
privilege, right? I know you said something about a privilege. Can you talk a little bit more about that? Seeing things as privileges rather than as punishments or obligations.
Yeah, I think with every conscious effort that you make to, start that initial movement of, I know I talked in a previous episode about starting from nothing to something, that first initial step. And I think that's a really powerful step because it shifts that focus from guilt or shame to appreciation and empowerment of making that change. And I think a lot of people approach exercise as a way to like burn off calories or make up for, binge eating. And I feel like that only promotes that toxic cycle of punishment that I see a lot of people indulge themselves in. But when you reframe working out as like a celebration almost, or like a privilege, your strength and your mobility and your endurance uh, not only improves significantly over time. It's like a steady curve upwards. It becomes also more enjoyable and sustainable because it's something that becomes easier, and for you feel good after um, working out for a certain number of time. And I feel like after you reach, everybody, it's a different stage, whether it's 3 months, 6 months, a year, 2 years. Eventually, your body and your mind is gonna make that uh, connection that your body is worthy of movement and care, and not that criticism and punishment that some people might refer working out to.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
And like I was thinking, like, say if somebody had a lot of things going on, like, and you could tell that they're pushing through the pain or like things like that, and they're showing off a fake reality, like they're smiling or like, but you can tell that they're going through something. Like, what do you think is would be helpful for that individual that's around you that you can do to like fix this situation?
To help someone who's down, like
Like,
not
yeah,
seeing
they're
things positively, and every time you talk to them, they only have something negative to say or something,
well,
something
that
like that.
that that too, but I mean like people that they don't want to say, they don't say negative things, but you can tell that they're pushing things down and like showing that like they're kind of like down the whole day, but uh like just have like this negative emotion carrying with them throughout the day.
Um, anyone want to take that or?
I guess if you're a good, like you have a good relationship with a person, I guess just you can ask them to talk with you, I guess, and you can offer your help, maybe your support, because mental health is a big thing, and I would say talking is probably the best way to bring positivity into someone's life. And the more positive people sits around him, I guess, the more better it is because more positivity will turn him around.
Yeah, and then also like I think acknowledging, having them acknowledge the problem, or like have himself say like what actually is going wrong, and like if they hear themselves say it, that means they're like kind of stepping up to the challenge and starting to change a new direction.
I would also say like it's all about like showing like a new perspective, right? Like that's like as much as you can do as someone that's like their friend or a family member, like because the grass is always greener on the other side, or the glass is always half full. So you just have to show them the other side to it, that there's always two sides to the same coin, always a bright side on the other
Mhm.
side of the grass.
And how do you kind of show them that and give them like perspective? Because some people might you'll try to explain it to them, but they'll be so tunnel vision down one side. What do you think is like a good way to help someone see, the light at the end of the tunnel, that the grass is greener on the other side? How do you get someone to see those things?
I think it's going to be like a long process. Like it won't be like a short like walkthrough, because I feel like someone like that has it ingrained in them that after so many failures that everything's like negative and that's how they think. I think you just have to like slowly walk them through like there's more things to life, there's more chances out there, opportunities. There's something that you're good at, something that everyone's good at, and you just have to find what makes you happy.
And I remember seeing one thing about people talking about what they want to be when they grow up or things that they want to do. Um, One method that I think I saw on YouTube or something is to kind of list the things that you don't want to do and where you don't want to be. Do you think that's good advice as far as like helping people see or make the path clearer for them? Or do you think listing off like things that they don't want to be doing only close doors for them?
Mm.
Can you repeat that?
Can
Like,
you reward it? Like,
would you say?
can you reward your question, bro?
Okay, if I can better explain it, say if you have someone that doesn't really have a positive outlook and on many things in life in general, and they don't know where they want to be. Um, so they don't know where they want to be, but one method that I saw is you can tell them to list the things or places that they do not want to be. And by focusing on the things they do not want to be or where they do not want to be, the path to where they want to be kind of becomes clear. So my question is that you think that's a good approach of kind of listing things and places that you don't want to be so you can know where you do want to be, or do you think that can close doors to new ideas or and only limit you? Does that
I
make
think that
sense?
different people have like different triggers. So like people have different strategies that work on different people. I feel like what you're saying is like tell them like what the consequences are, so that they don't want to like face those consequences. So that would motivate them to actually do the thing. But then there's also strategies like a reward based system where they do it and they get like a reward instead of like facing consequences. You know. So
Yeah,
I
so
feel
I
like
guess
they're all like valid strategies depending on what helps you better individually. You know.
yeah, because someone can see all of those things as doors being closed, while another person, it can actually help them figure out what they want to do and what they want to focus on by knowing where they don't want to be. So yeah, I guess
And
definitely strategies for different people.
mhm. And there's a thought in from the chat, like it says, expectations can get you down. Expectations in your daily goals and other expectations in like, uh, and I'm not too sure if that's a complete thought, but the expectations can get you down. Oh, it's the same thing. I'm not too sure the question there, but I just wanted to
I
say,
think it's just a statement,
yeah. Mhm.
just saying that expectations from other people can bring you down when you don't really want to hold up to those expectations, and then the expectations in daily life for self and others really dictate how you carry yourself, and then that kind of poses the question whether to hold up to those expectations or try to choose your own path. So I
I
think
think
that's what they're saying
I,
in the
I
chat.
actually like that because I think um, a lot about this journey is about that self development and not specifically on the ego. And I know a lot of people fall into the trap of, self comparison and comparing themselves with other people. But the real growth, I feel like, happens when your only competition is your past self. And it encourages you to focus on your personal like evolution, I could say. And like I touched before on that mental, physical, and emotional change, and turning that exercise into a tool for that self development rather than ego.
Yeah, I definitely agree. That's a good take on it. And yeah, um, do you guys have any other thoughts or comments about the
Like I
last?
just want to say, like my experience, like feeling positive throughout the day, like if I know I have like mixed martial arts training or lifting during the day, it kind of like how I feel like it sets uh like a tone for yourself, like kind of like a mood, like I feel like I'm out there to get things done, and like I want to like keep working hard to like improve myself. Like every time I go in the gym or train, I feel like I'm working to something, and I feel like everybody should have something that lets them keep driving forward.
Yeah, so setting personal expectations for yourself. So maybe the expectations of others can't uh, or may not dictate how you operate, but if you are able to set your own expectations that are valid and reasonable, and like Prit said, have some type of reward system in place that you can recognize your self worth and reward yourself for the good things that you've done, not for only for yourself, but for others, can be super beneficial when taking a positive outlook on things.
Uh, like what can you say about what do you guys think about like other people putting their expectations of you like onto you, and like uh like say it gets like a little overwhelming, like what do you think, like?
I feel like most of the time people put like expectations on people that they think it's easy to, let's say, achieve, but in reality, it takes very hard work and a lot of time for you. For example, if you tell someone that you're on diet or something, right? They expect the next time they see you, you're just gonna be slim, you know. So I feel like that also brings a little negativity in our lives. It might be a little overwhelming. So I would say if you never experienced something or don't know something about it, just don't put your expectations on it. No.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's really important to learn that everybody and know that everybody has their own journey and different peaks and downs, and it's all part of that journey, that your unique journey that makes it so unique and beautiful. And for other people that might do, like I know Joshan and Sahan do martial arts, for some people that might be really intense and overwhelming. But I think just taking care of your body, and I think at whatever level that might be, whether it's going for a walk or doing martial arts or playing basketball on the side, I feel like you have to make your body like your lifelong home, if that makes sense.
They say it's your what's the word I'm looking for? Your vessel or your temple. Your body is your temple. Something you should respect, that you should worship. And by worship, we mean going to the gym and taking care of it the correct way. Like you would worship any God, you would respect that God, you would pray to that God the same way that you should take care of your body.
Yeah, and it's more like a act of self-respect, you could even say, and that like long-term responsibility of taking care of that temple.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah.
Joseph, do you want to pull up Alex, did you want to throw in another quote, or should we pick another?
Yeah. Do you guys have anything like that you want to add on, like before we get into some of the quotes?
Or the next ones?
I think I hit everything I wanted to hit.
Okay. Here are some quotes right here.
Okay, yeah. So I just compiled like a little bit or like a list of 10 quotes, just super general about positivity and how to sort of reframe the thoughts that you have from negative thoughts or sort of neutral thoughts into more positive thoughts that can lead you to have more energy and focus when you're going and doing things. And do you want to go top down, or do you want to pick out some?
I think we can pick out some like
So
that we think.
does any one quote stand out to you guys? I tried to pick like different ones that.
What do you think first is like something that like speaks to you?
I feel like the one that's popping out right now is one from Plato. Be kind, for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle.
Yeah, I think
Like,
that's one of the most important ones.
like
Yeah.
imagine going outside and let's say you just hold the door for someone else. They might look they're fine, but we don't know like what's going on behind this smile. They might be going through something pretty hard that might be bringing them down. So I would say greet everyone and be kind to everyone.
Yeah, that I think that keeps up the positivity as well. Like, yeah, sorry, like you never know like what somebody's going through, even though it looks fine on the outside. They might be carrying those negative emotions and pushing them down. Even though they think that might be the right thing to do, but it really isn't. So, like, yeah, I like that quote too.
Anyone else want to give their thoughts on that one? I kind of agree with what already has been said, but I think you really don't know the type of battles other people are going through, whether they're physical, mental, emotional. Of course, you guys all know of your own struggles and battles and how it's not the easiest thing to do. So having that consideration and that compassion just for other people, because I really think it takes so much more energy out of you to be angry than it does to be kind. I think doing little gestures and doing small things really don't take too much effort, and they actually feel very nice and rewarding when you do them. And I personally like doing nice things for people, and I don't do it out of obligation. I just do it in the moment because I just
That's what you
decided
think is right.
I think it's right, and I care for that person. Maybe it's like I feel like I don't even feel morally responsible for it. I think just a better world is created when you talk to people nice, when you say things to them in a nice way, because when you try to be negative or point things towards a bad direction, it really sets off the mood, and you can get so many different reactions from people. And I'm not saying to do things for people to get certain reactions, but being kind can really only do good for for everyone around you and for yourself.
It kind of ties into one of the quotes like there is a crack in everything, that's how light gets in, by Leonard Cohen, at the bottom there. Like every little thing that you do isn't insignificant. Like you shouldn't think like even just like San said, like doing a small gesture, just that might be a thing that brighten one person's day that they might have needed like for a while, you know. So one small thing can go a long way, and even if it's not for somebody else, like if you need to help yourself, I think it's true. Like you should be able to, you should help yourself before you can help others. Make sure you stay positive, and like little things like that you can do some things that might be small to help yourself, but everything is contributing over time.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I think one of the quotes, it was on my wall in elementary school. It was kindness is free. And I think that goes a long way. That, kind of like Sahan said, uh, being angry and, not being kind takes much more energy than just throwing a compliment out there to somebody who is trying to improve themselves, because you have no idea how far that compliment could affect them. Especially in a place like the gym, and you see someone who's maybe came to the gym for the first time on Monday, and now they're here week after week after week, and you just throw in a compliment and say, "I really respect what you're doing here. You're a real role model to all the other guys out here." And I think that could go a long way for someone who's making that first initial step and stepping foot in the gym. Because I think all of us, when we first stepped foot in the gym, at some point we were, might have faced some social anxiety because it was a new environment and it was also our first step. So everybody has those different points in their journey where they decide to make change for the better. And for people that have already begun their own journey, they should only uplift and support those people.
And I think like some people like lose hope in like other people like saying like thinking like everybody's the same, and they don't want to help others. Like I think that if you show certain people like what positivity means and show them love, I think that might even change like their direction, which is going in a spiral downward to like maybe improving more than other people.
Yeah, appreciation is like super important because I think without appreciation, people feel as if they don't belong. And then once they feel like they don't belong here, then that just leads down to a spiral of more negative thoughts, them questioning why they're doing the things they're doing, if they're not even wanted to be here. And then it just showing appreciation really lets them know that um, they are needed and that they are here for a reason. So I think just showing appreciation and like Alex said, just giving that compliment. And I think a lot of people think those things and see themselves in those people who have just begun their journey. Say, since I've been training for like multiple years now, I can look at someone who's just begun their journey and I can see myself in them. And I think when you see yourself in those people, it's best just to not hesitate and let them know. I know people hold back compliments a lot. Sometimes I do as well. Um, just let them out. Just let people really know how you feel about them in a good way, and just appreciate them because you don't know how far that one compliment can take them. That one compliment can really mean the world to them and change their life, change their motivation, change their discipline, and feel like the work that they're actually doing is meaning something. And
And also,
not to go down the road of not to go down the road of validation from other people, but I still think it's a positive way to just show appreciation. So I would say appreciation over validation is what I would say. And yeah, any other for that one or those two? The be kind for everyone and the crack and everything. How the lights get in. You guys
I
we
think
covered those?
you can't stop the waves, but you can learn how to surf it. I think I think that's with like dealing with new challenges. Like those, like life is gonna come at you and it's not gonna stop, you know. So like you're not gonna just sit down and push things down and just kind of like leave yourself in a hole, you know. So I think you just gotta learn how to like manage your issues because everybody has something different. So and even though you see somebody doing something like, oh, they're doing something this way, I have to try it that the way they're doing it to fix the problem. That's not how it works because like everybody is different. Their body, their mind. So I think like dealing with challenges your own way and figuring out over time and learning over time like how to deal with them is really important.
Yeah, I really agree with you, Joshan. I think setbacks are I think are destined to happen for everyone, whether that may be like a sickness, an injury, an unfortunate event. Those setbacks are meant to happen to test if you can continue going through the journey and bounce back. And I think those are the real tests of those discipline and what your outlook is on life. And if you can maintain that positive outlook to healing yourself and consciously knowing you're making the best of yourself day in, day out, regardless of your surroundings, I think that only helps you, like the quote says, learn how to surf despite the waves, because the waves are always going to be there.
And then also with like people that try to find a way to deal with the situation, I think there's a lot of time in life where you can find and try different ways to solve a problem and solve your challenges. So I think like maybe people want to give up sometimes, but there's always a way. Like you don't always have to do it like the so-called right way, but or like how other people do it, but like you have to like learn how to do it your own way.
I would like to add that like you also need waves to surf. So like in the long run, when you see something that you look back on, and at the time you may feel embarrassed or you might not, you might regret it. In the long run, you'll appreciate that you went through that time because it helps you grow as a person and really appreciate like how you're doing in life and how you take care of yourself, because that in itself is self-love in a way where you change your energy and your thinking. Like that one quote from Buddha, the second quote, it says, "What you think you become, what you feel you attract, what you imagine you create." I like that quote because it really shows like how the effect of positive thinking can change like the energy around you and kind of like manifest like a better future towards yourself because you pull yourself towards that future by the way you act and the way you think now.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I was thinking along those lines is when I was reading that um, surf quote as well as the Buddha quote. Of course, you really cannot surf without the waves, and like you said, Prit, looking back at those challenges and those things makes you appreciate them. And the higher the waves, the better the surfer. So the the higher the challenges are, the more challenging those challenges are, the better your ability to surf. And then also, like Joshin was talking about, everyone has their own way of doing things. So your way to surf is not the same way someone else surfs. But those same waves that both surfers are experiencing and going through can really uh, help you kind of be more artistic in the way you live and do things your way and find your way of doing things so you can put your own positive energy towards it and make something really unique for yourself, which I think is important and helps you stand out. And I think being unique and being um, original is something that stands out to people. And the more original you are and more authentic you are, um, the more positive energy you're just going to attract in general. And yeah, do you guys want to kind of shift to that Buddha quote that Britt was talking about, since he kind of introduced that one as well? What you think you become, what you feel you attract, and what you imagine you create.
I feel like that quote might might sound simple, but it's actually has a lot deeper meaning than it seems. I would say if you're like always thinking about negative thoughts, like for example, you're saying to yourself, "I'm not good enough," or maybe nothing ever works out of me, you know, and you look yourself as a failure, that mindset like shapes you who you are. You know, it becomes your reality. If you always think bad about yourself, you will always be bad in life and do bad. You know, it's like you constantly feel angry, jealous, and you're pouring this negative energy into your life, and the outcome still stays negative. You know, so I would say be grateful, be calm, motivated, and that'll be your first step towards like positive life. Like let's say um, you don't like meeting some person, like you see at work maybe, or some type of place, doesn't matter. And if you don't like them, try to switch your like view about them. You know, try to think good stuff about them when you see them in your mind. Just quickly say first thing that comes in your mind that's good about that person. You know, and that will also change your relationship with the person. Maybe you think there's y'all start off with the wrong foot, but you might be wrong. You know.
Yeah, definitely. And then that kind of goes with the be kind for everyone you meet is fighting a hard battle. Also, like the one we talked about before, because you don't like Mike said, just try to think positively about someone and just be considerate. Oh, this person might be acting this way because they're thinking or are going through something very harsh. So circling back and trying to think um, kindly and compassionately for each other is like super important.
And the other quote, do not anticipate trouble or worry about what may never happen. Keep in the sunlight. I think like people should not shy away from facing challenges and stepping up to the challenge. Like, but they should keep a positive attitude. Those challenges that are like maybe very difficult to you, or you see them as like maybe impossible. If you overcome them, maybe the next time you see a like the same type of trouble, you'll be able to deal with it easily. So I think every type of challenge that comes your way, you should face it positively and know that after the challenge is dealt with, or you persevere through whatever it is, you're coming out better. You're coming out with something else, like learning how to deal with that situation.
Yeah, I really like that one. It was by Ben Franklin, right?
Mhm.
I think it's like Joshan said about the challenges. I think wherever you go and whatever the temperature or whatever challenges you might feel, or whatever outside distractions, you always have to bring your own sunshine, you could say. And keeping yourself in that sunlight and that positive energy is what's going to help you maintain that positive outlook to whatever trouble or setback or problem you may be facing and push you into a better direction.
Mhm.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
And
And
was there like any other quotes that stuck out to you guys, like besides the one we went over, or
I like
quotes
the
of your own
quote.
too?
I like the quote by Charles Dickens: "The sun himself is weak when he first rises, and gathers strength and courage as the day gets in." The way I interpret that quote is that like even like someone that you view as like as an impossible figure, you would never think like they would have trouble like doing what they do, or you think they just like cruising through life. Even they struggle to get up in the morning, and it gets easier as the day gets on. They get more comfortable doing what they do. I just feel like that puts into perspective that everyone has their own personal battles that they have to get through that's tailored for them, and that's just something that you have to get through and figure it out for yourself. And everyone has these battles.
yeah, I definitely agree. And I think the important part about that quote is just knowing that uh, the sun. It says the sun himself is weak when he first rises. But I think the first crucial step for everyone is to first get up and rise when you are most vulnerable, and know that you're vulnerable and that you know you you need to take time to give to yourself and help yourself to gather strength and courage because um, life just becomes a rolling ball. And I think it has a lot to do with momentum and the way you build momentum. So first you have to rise in order to build that momentum, and then now start implementing good habits and positive things that can only add to your day. And then as you implement those positive things throughout your day, it can start to snowball. You'll gather strength, more courage as the day gets on. And it's not just as the day gets on, but as your life gets moving as well. It can something small can really turn and something small and something weak can really turn into something super strong and resilient.
Yeah, I think I agree with everything you said, Son. I just wanted to touch on the author, Charles Dickens. For those who don't know, Charles Dickens is a very famous author. He's written a lot of novels. I remember reading Oliver Twist, which I'm not sure if all of y'all are familiar with it, but it's about like an orphan navigating his life through a harsh London underworld, and it's like life beats him up hard, like because this guy's in an orphanage and he has to go through child labor, crime, poverty, and lots of injustice. And it's like the author who made the storyline is talking about Oliver Twist. I feel like in a sense here that Oliver was able to gather that strength and courage to continue throughout his life. His unfortunate, circumstances that he was involved in, but he was still able to push through despite all that was against him. And I think that's like, I found like that really deeper meaning here.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
Yeah, and I also wanted to go into one of the comments that we had. It's better to be in the eye of the storm instead of the arms, where it's very turbulent. In the eye, you can see and be calm and be peaceful. So, what do you guys think about that?
Do you want me to repeat it one more time for you guys?
Yeah, you can repeat it
Don't
one more
have to-
time.
So the quote is, "It's better to be in the eye of the storm instead of the arms, where it is very turbulent. In the eye, you can see and be calm and be peaceful." I think that has a lot to do with perspective and positioning yourself in the right way. And when I mean positioning, it pretty much means having the correct perspective. Because if you place yourself in the arms of the storm, you're only going to be seeing all of the negative things that are coming at you, all of the waves crashing, all of the rain coming down. But once you place yourself in the eye of the storm, where it's super calm and super peaceful, you can kind of see the peace and the serenity that comes from looking beyond just what is happening to you intensely or happening to you all around. You're really able to see the peace through the storm, which I think is important.
Yeah, because some people forget to know what it's like to be in peace, so experiencing it and putting yourself in a situation where you're in the middle of the challenge and see that the light at the end of the tunnel is really important, I think.
I saw it as like the eye of the storm is you facing your battles head on, your problems head on, and if you don't, and if you try to escape your problems or try to avoid it, you'll get hit by like the arms of the storm, you know. So
Yeah,
you want to like face your problems head on, so that essentially you face your fears, you know, and you know how to deal with it later on.
Yeah, and then you realize it wasn't so bad, and then you can use that to keep pushing forward, like I've been through this, and like it's not something that's going to put me down.
that's why I think picking something that's relatively difficult is super important to do, because the threshold of like mental energy and mental strength you have to gather to do that very difficult thing is super high. And if you're able to do that thing that's super, super difficult and takes you through a lot of mental chaos, then doing the simple tasks every day and doing those things are such a ease and such a breeze for you, because you've been through the roughest and the toughest of it. And now when you're doing the little stuff, it's not that much more. Or if you're doing something that was that seemed hard to you, but you now did something that's 10 times harder, it no longer seems as hard just because of the perspective you're seeing through and just because of what you went through.
Yeah, I agree with that. Also, about this quote, I would say like positivity works like this because life might be storming around all around you, you know, stress, drama, chaos, all that. But if you stay in the center, it's gonna be calm. You know, you'll be able to see things clearly, and like you don't get dragged around by drama or emotions. You stay calm. But being an eye doesn't mean the storm is gone. It just means that you found a way to stay on your ground, you know, in the middle of it, and that's very powerful thing to have.
And like staying focused, like saying like I'm gonna stay here and I'm gonna deal with what's going on. Like it's not gonna topple me over. It's not gonna like be the last thing that I'm gonna deal with. You know.
Yeah, definitely, I agree. And with that being said, I kind of want to go actually into this one other quote that stood out to me. Um, it's act as if what you do makes a difference because it does. And I think some people undervalue the things that they do and undervalue what they bring to the table because they don't think they can really do anything significant that can lead to a big change or a big impact. But what they don't realize is that and every single action that they do makes a complete difference, not only for themselves but also for other people as well. And when you start to notice that your actions actually matter, and that your actions actually, whether small or big, still have a significant impact, you'll then sort of realize which actions you want to partake in and what things you want to do for yourself and for others. And I think that goes back to like being positive and appreciating things, and also letting people know that you're appreciative of the things that they do, because then it reinforces this idea of what you do makes a difference. Because somebody might do like a small gesture that they're just automatically do just because they want to or out the goodness of their heart. Um, and they do those things and they might not get much reactions or like holding the door open or certain things like that, but saying thank you and being grateful for others and letting them know that you're grateful for them is super important, and it really shows that what you do as an individual can make the difference.
And like I would say one thing that makes me keep going and like say how we me and Son do Traeger, and I see the after doing all that work for on the patient and seeing their face, like they're happy and they feel good and they give positive feedback and tell me like this was amazing, and like I can like you somebody can use like that type of situation to fuel their positivity, and I think like me experiencing like other people like compliment me for the things I worked hard for uh kind of makes me feel motivated to keep doing it, and it makes me happy to feel like I'm making a difference.
So you're saying that positive energy can be shared and you can feed off that energy?
Yeah, like you can get positive energy from other people, but if you keep going like me, if I keep treating patients, I know it will cycle back to them, giving them positive energy.
Do you feel like your mood or positive emotions like affects how you perform trigger or how you excel?
I think the positive mood definitely like helps, like during the session, like me staying calm and staying focused during the session, like making sure the patient is okay, like I want to keep that positive energy and making sure they know that I'm trying to make them like teach them how to feel better, so it's it kind of cycles both ways, so anybody can gain or give uh positive energy.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I see that as well when I'm practicing. Traeger. When people give me compliments, it makes me want to do more. It makes me motivated to better my craft. And really, all I'm really thinking about as I'm treating or giving the Traeger to these people is I'm really only thinking about how they're feeling, and I'm tuning into how I'm feeling and how that inherently affects what they're feeling. Like Prit, you said, giving good energy or transferring energy from one person to the next. I feel that it's not just the physical movements that I'm doing with the person, but I also am very mindful about the energy that I have and when I'm treating the person and making sure that I'm giving them my full love and attention so that they can have like the best experience possible.
And like with the positive energy with Traeger, we if we feel something's a little off, or we feel something's in pain or some sort of distress, we step back and then we try to let ourselves go, let whatever negative feelings we have let go until we resume the session, so that everything that the patient is getting is positive energy. So I think this can be transferred in many other things, not just Traeger.
Oh, we got a $20 dono from MP4 Change. So everybody give a round of applause and
Thank you very
thank you
much.
so much. It says love the interaction. So yeah, I think yeah, especially with I just realized this. It's isn't it like Men's Mental Health Awareness Month or something like that? Yeah, I just realized that as looking at the calendar day on my computer. So yeah, this is really just um, adding to that and showing how important these types of conversations are. So if you see someone struggling with mental health or down, um, these are good quotes to take in mind and to take perspective on so you can help that person or even help yourself if you're going through a difficult time right now.
And I just wanted to say like you see like guys don't like express like and show like compliments to others because maybe they think it's a little weird, like, or like they think it's a little off, you know. But like giving those like little compliments can help a person. Like you see even girls do it, like they say, oh my god, you're so pretty, something like that. Like if guys do it, like I think even though it might sound a little off, like, or a little weird to the person, like that will still go a long way. So don't be embarrassed of what you truly feel.
Even something casual like in the gym where you say, "Nice chest pump, bro,"
Hmm.
or
Yeah.
I'm Myron, bro," or
Hmm.
something
Yeah,
like that.
How would you feel if someone complimented your chest pump? What would that do to your like whole overall mental state or emotional state? What would that do for you? Just that
I think
small little
that
gesture.
would definitely like boost my morale, and that would help me eventually attain a bigger chest bump in the long run. So it's like a
Hmm.
win-win for me and him, bro.
Hmm.
Win-win for both. Big, he gets to see an even bigger chest pump, and you get to have the bigger chest pump. So yeah,
Yeah, and that took like maybe like 5 seconds out of his day to come up to you and say those things, like just like not really any effort at all to make a positive change to everybody else in the world.
and yeah, I'm just scanning over these other quotes. If you guys have anything to add from the last one, um, uh, go ahead before I transition. I don't know how much we have, how many quotes we have left that we didn't cover.
Um,
We did the first one. We did the second one. We didn't do the third one.
mhm.
The wound is the place where light enters you, and I think that has also has is kind of coherent with the one after that, which is about the waves. But um, I think the wound, when it's talking about the wound, it's talking about um, more damage that has been done to you, not not in terms of challenges. I see the waves quote as interpreting the waves as challenges, so you can develop your own skills and ways to sort of ride the wave and learn how to surf. But I think the wound one is more talking about the damage that has been done to you This could be by other people's, could be self inflicting, but and mentally and emotionally. But I think um, that quote just shows you places where you can learn and where it says the light
Yeah.
enters you. And I think one thing I think people talk about is breaking generational trauma. And I think this quote like really has to do with breaking those things because I see the wound as the sort of negative things the family has been doing for a while that has been passed on from generation to generation. But you can see the wound, or aka the negative things that has been continued in your family, as a place where the light can enter you and where you can break generational curses or generational trauma and learn to help your kids and the people around you um, have more light in them and have more positivity.
So
And
positive environments like a healing energy for like past trauma to go over past mistakes and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I think if they're not addressed, it's literally just a snowball effect, and it's just going to be continuing and continuing. And I know everyone at home can probably relate to this. Everyone knows their family's not perfect, and there's things that need to be changed. But if they're not addressed and talked about and acknowledged and gone over, they're never going to happen. No change is going to be brought, and you can never create a better environment for your kids because then you'll just be carrying the same energy and emotion that your parents have
It'll
transferred to
be
you.
it'll be passed on unintentionally or intentionally, right?
Yeah, unintentionally or intentionally. Most of the time, it's unintentionally, and people are victims of it. But although there are victims, they still hold responsibility in creating a better environment for the next coming people and their
Yeah,
children.
I think the addressing part is really critical to know and uh, understand, because if you don't address it, there won't be that learning curve. Like that wound, it happened for a reason, and if you don't address it and you learn from that setback, from that problem, or whatever it might be, it's going to happen again and again and again. And if you don't, like Prit said, it might be, or Sahan said about the generational trauma, it will only pass on.
And I feel like you like you said like isn't the same challenge is going to keep coming your way because life wants you to learn through that specific challenge because it's something that you might have to fix in life because I think everything over time is so that we have life experiences and keep going because even at the age of like 50 or 60 you might still learn something and have new challenges even though you've been through so much and I think the wound is just a starting point to your learning.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm taking one more scan. I think we did cover all of the quotes on here. Let me know if I'm missing anything, guys, or if you
No,
have
I
any
think you
other.
did, yeah.
Okay, yeah. And any other closing thoughts before we wrap up here?
I feel like that quote kind of ties in with the last quote where it says there's a crack in everything. So like everybody has like some hidden insecurity or wound because everything has a crack. But like the light, which is positivity, will always help you like heal that crack a little bit. It might not go away completely, but it's like a step in the right direction to like get your life together and start moving in a positive light.
Mhm.
Yeah, definitely. I think those quotes are kind of even synonymous because the wound and the crack are the same thing, and they're both opportunistic for letting the light in. But with that being said, if the light can get in, then that also means the darkness and the negativity can get in. So you have to be very mindful and very careful about um, how you approach your wounds and the things that have happened to
Mhm.
you. And yeah. With that being said, thank you guys for joining us to today's episode of Figuring Out Friday. Again, it's Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, so if you have a friend, just give them a compliment, do a nice gesture for them, let them know that they're appreciated, and let them know that you really care and love for them. And yeah, we just want to spread the word about positivity and wellness overall for everyone.
Yeah,
And
all of you look really good today. Just want to let you know.
Thanks, bro. Same to you too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and all of
same
you
to
at home too. I'm sure you all look beautiful and handsome.
Yeah, and your shoulders are looking a little big there.
Thanks, bro.
You got a
Mhm.
shoulder pump?
Yeah, I just shoulders yesterday, bro.
I hope you get
Oh, that's why.
Thank you, bro. I'm glad you noticed, bro.
the bigger and better.
Yeah, bro.
Mike's beard is looking a little fly right now.
Yeah,
I
it's
might have
always clean. It's always clean. I always notice that.
Like, I
Always
might
up
have
to
to-
bigger and better things, bro.
I might have to give him a visit later tonight. So
Whoa.
Whoop.
no,
Okay,
I'm like, all right.
It's Happy Pride Month too, I think.
Yeah, happy
Alright.
Pride Month too.
Okay, good one, Fred. Good one, Fred. Okay, yeah, thank you guys for tuning in to today's podcast of Figuring Out Friday. Again, make sure you like, share, and subscribe on all of our platforms, which is here on Rumble, YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. And yeah, just spread the message and spread wellness and positivity this month. And yeah, we will see you guys on the next one.
Thank you, guys.